Yes, people, what is happening? Welcome back to the channel. It's Tuesday morning and today is day one, week one of this 16-week marathon prep. I've mentioned in previous videos, I'm going to do the Abu Dhabi Marathon in December and also the Barcelona Marathon in March. So the goal for this marathon is a sub 3:10. Maybe we can push it a little bit closer to 3 hours. We'll see how the fitness builds over the next 4 months. And then the goal for Barcelona is absolutely a sub 3, but I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into this prep. I haven't done a race prep properly since, I think, what would it have been, since February when I did the half marathon in Dubai. Managed to run a 1:28 time, which I was so pleased with, and I loved every week of that prep. It was just 12 weeks, it was a half marathon, whereas this marathon prep is going to be 16 weeks, as I said before. So getting stuck into it. So I'm going to make this into a series. I'm going to try and upload a video every single week, document the prep in terms of not only the obvious ones, training and nutrition, but also recovery and energy management. And that's what I kind of want to get across in this series is I'm obviously a business owner. I've got a business that turns over more than $500,000 a year. I can't be training like a full-time athlete. Obviously, I am doing a lot of training. I'm going to be doing 4 runs a week and 3 strength sessions. I think a lot of these preps on YouTube and online are obviously done by influencers and people that are doing like triathlons, marathons, Ironmans, all that sort of stuff. And to be honest, they're not working as much as me. They often don't have employees. They don't have a team to run and manage as well. And they can dedicate a lot of time to their training and kind of just relax for the rest of the day. But I want to give you a new perspective with this series of how I can perform well in the gym and on my runs, how I can fuel well with the nutrition side of things, not just for the training, but also so that I have consistent energy throughout the day so I can still run my business to a high level. We've grown massively over the last quarter and I want to keep that up. I'm not willing to sacrifice the business in favor of the training. So hopefully this is a little bit of a different perspective, because a lot of the series I watch on YouTube, people are just, training for 10 to 20 hours a week, just training. That's not what this series is going to be about. It's going to be about obviously putting in the work, dedicating a really good amount of time to training, but trying to get the most out of myself in other areas as well. And I think the key kind of determining factor as to how well I do with this whole series will be the sleep and recovery side of things, not necessarily the training and the nutrition, because I find that side of things very easy, whereas managing the business, getting into a solid sleep routine has always been a challenge of mine. Bit of a life update as well. I've got 2 more weeks left in this apartment. I sorted a new place last week in Emaar Beachfront. For anyone that knows Dubai, that's just outside the marina. So I'm really excited to move there. It's going to help me take my content to the next level. This apartment is absolutely beautiful. Like I can't fault it whatsoever. It's just too big for me on my own right now, and the area that we live in, Business Bay, is nice, but around where this actual apartment is, it's just a lot of construction and it's not really very nice. It's right next to the motorway, so I'm looking forward to getting into a more relaxed place with areas for better content opportunities basically. So that is going to be the start of this series. I'm just about to drive to the gym to do my first run of this marathon prep, which is going to be a 10k easy run. I'm going to document the nutrition as well and just kind of provide a bit of an insight into my life as well. I think this is the best way to do it, is to document a prep and show you kind of like what I'm doing outside of things as well. So a hugely important part of this prep, obviously alongside the training, is going to be the nutrition. And the nutritional approach that I'm following at the moment is actually not too different to what I've been doing, because to be honest, the mileage for the marathon in the first month is actually pretty similar to what I have been doing anyway. So over the last 4 to 5 weeks, I've done between 45 and 50k a week. Last week I did 40 because it was a recovery week, and that's generally what me and all the clients that we coach as well do for the running. We'll build for 3 weeks in volume and then we'll pull back for a week where we do a little bit less. So I think I did 2 50k weeks, a 45k week before that, and then a 40k week. So this week I'm gonna try and hit at least 48k. So I think I'm actually gonna do 12 on the treadmill today. It's the only training session that I'm doing today. I'm feeling pretty good, and my easy run pace at the moment is around kind of like 5 5:10 to 5:25 per kilometer, so I'm able to run a 12k in about 65 minutes, so it's not the longest workout in the world. And yeah, I just want to get my body used to doing, well, continue to do 50k a week. So that would be 12 today, 12 tomorrow, with some tempo work in the middle of that. I think tomorrow is 3k easy, 6k at, well, it's the marathon pace, which is a little bit slower than tempo, and then a 3k cool down. And then Friday I'll probably do another 12, provided things are feeling fine, and then that would have me at 36. So then I would just need to do 14 on Sunday, might do 15, 16, see how I feel. But that's the setup for this week, and then next week is actually pretty similar. It's not going to change too much, basically just the distances of the tempo work increases a little bit. Got a little bit sidetracked there, started talking about nutrition, but basically the nutritional approach that I've been following is between 3,000 to 3,200 calories per day, Monday to Friday, and then on the weekends I put slightly more carbs in, because obviously the weekend run is longer. Again, for the first month, the longest one that we're going to be doing is 18k. I think there's a 14, a 16 and 18k, so around about an hour and a half, a little bit longer of running. So we don't need to carb load massively, but once we start getting up to 20k plus, I'm going to be putting in far more carbs on the Saturday and then on the Sunday as well, the day of the run, to actually perform but also recover well as well. And I think the main thing with the nutrition is, you know, having accurate calorie and macro targets to stick to. Otherwise you will find, which happens to a lot of people, is if you allow your appetite to dictate what you eat when you're on one of these preps, where the volume of the running is obviously high, you're doing strength training as well, you'll probably find that you either massively undereat and you lose weight and you won't be able to perform well and your strength in the gym will suffer, or you'll go the other way where you'll overconsume and you'll overfuel because you're hungrier than your appetite kind of exceeds your actual output level. And that happened to me a few years ago. I intuitively ate for a few months and drove up my running to like 40k a week, and I put on like 4 kilos, quite a lot of body fat, so would not recommend doing that. So I think it's really, really important to be very, very accurate with your nutrition on these preps, otherwise you're just not going to perform as well, and you might find that your body composition suffers, whether that's losing muscle or actually gaining weight, which happens to a lot of people as well. My macros, I'm relatively strict of them. I try and hit 200 protein per day. I try not to consume more than 85 grams of fat a day. If I go a little bit higher than that, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. But the main thing for these preps is obviously a high amount of carbohydrates around training to support performance and to help you recover as well. So on that nutritional note, what I've eaten today is, well, it is 10:30 now. I'll probably be on the treadmill at 11 a.m. I had my usual breakfast of sourdough bread with an omelette, well, a very large omelette actually, 2 omelettes from the meal prep, was I think it was 5 or 6 whole eggs, and then a glass of orange juice. I had that at around, what, that being about 9 a.m, so that'll be fully kind of digested by the time I get on the treadmill, which is good. And then intra run, I will probably have a Pocari Sweat, which I think is basically, it's almost like an electrolyte ion drink with 35 grams of carbs in. So post run, that'll probably have me at around, what would that be, around 120 grams of carbs. And then I've prepped some oats with protein powder and blueberries and honey, which will be around about another 80 to 90 grams of carbs, and I will have that straight after my run. And then I'm going to hang around at the gym a little bit, get a shower, do a call, and I'll probably have a berry-based protein shake that they have there as well. So as you can see, eating relatively frequently, just trying to get a really good amount of protein in and a high amount of carbs in around the training so that I'm recovered for the run tomorrow. And then I usually like to have quite a large evening meal. And then if I'm a little bit short on protein and short on calories in general, I'll have like a yogurt bowl with fruit and honey later on. So that's the staples. I'm having meat like at least once a day, either red meat, steak for dinner usually, or chicken, and sometimes I might have meat for lunch as well. So nutrition is so important. I'm looking to lean down around about another kilo on average over the next month, just to get myself down to the desired weight, which is 78, just so I can increase my kind of like power to power to weight ratio slightly. I noticed a huge difference running at 68 versus 80. At the moment I'm around 79, so I've cut about a kilo since I got back to Dubai about 3 weeks ago, just basically by just being a little bit more accurate. But I'm going to be doing a little bit more steps over the next couple of weeks just to help that as well. So yeah, that's the nutrition approach so far. Just stuck in some traffic now, taking absolutely ages. But it is what it is. That is Dubai, and it's starting to get busier now because the schools have gone back, I think, and I think a lot of people are coming back from their Euro summers. But I'm going to be moving to that new apartment in a couple of weeks, so I need to figure out the gym situation and see where is going to be good to train. But yeah, I'll check in probably after the run. But the plan is 12k easy, keeping the heart rate below 150. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it says 50 degrees in the car. It's absolutely horrendous. But training is done. I'm sweaty as shit. I was gonna get a shower at the gym, but apparently they ran out of towels midday on a Tuesday in quiet season in Dubai, so I don't know how that happened. But yeah, so 12k easy on the treadmill. I knew as soon as I said I was going to do 12, I had to commit to doing 12. I can't do any less than that. I hate saying I'm going to do something and then not doing it. It's my absolute pet hate about other people. I feel like people always say they're going to do shit and then they don't do it. Anyway, rant over. So 12k easy, but what I actually did was I find these easy runs just mind-numbingly boring, especially when you're doing them on the treadmill, looking at the same thing for over an hour. So what I did was I did like a 2k consistent pace, and then every 2k I did 500 meters at a 2.5 degree gradient or incline or whatever you call it. I don't know whether it was degree or percentage, but yeah, basically every 2k I did 500 meters on the incline. The reason for that is I obviously run in Dubai for like 80% of the year, and if you've not been to the UAE or Dubai or Abu Dhabi, it's pretty much completely flat. And when I went back and did the Great North Run a couple of years ago in the UK, I got a massive shock because basically my legs just were not used to running on hills and kind of recovering from them. So that's what I'm going to do in my easy runs, is just incorporate a little bit of hill work, because the Abu Dhabi Marathon is going to be completely flat, but Barcelona, although it is a good course, it's a fast course. Someone set the half marathon world record there this year. It definitely won't be as flat as here, and I don't want to get caught out on that. So if I just incorporate like a couple of kilometers of slight incline work each week, hopefully that will get my body used to it, and I'll probably just increase that incline ever so slightly each week. Obviously won't be doing that on the intervals, but just on the easy runs, and just to keep it interesting as well. It gives you something to focus on. You run for 2k, then you do 500 incline, you're looking at the treadmill. It's a little bit more interesting than just doing the same pace for the whole time. But my face is so red, it's so hot. But anyway, I'm going to drive home now, have a shower, got a few check-ins to do, and then I've got 4 calls this afternoon. I've got 2 consultation calls and 2 client catch-up calls, and then I'm going to get to bed because I've got to do it all over again tomorrow. I've got my my marathon pace speed session tomorrow, so we'll need to recover. I had my oats after the run, and then when I get home I will probably have some yogurt or something like that. I need to have a look at what I've got in. Second run of marathon prep completed. Come down to the Address Hotel today, which is probably my favourite place to work and chill. Came here on Sunday as well, got some food, tanned. But yeah, they've got some good treadmills in the gym downstairs, so I did the a marathon pace tempo session, 3k easy at around a 5-minute pace, heart rate was sub 140, and it was 6k at marathon pace 4:15. I'm not sure if I'm going to push that pace in the first marathon Abu Dhabi, but I want to almost kind of train over the pace, if that makes sense, so that when we get to the day, hopefully securing a sub 310 should be relatively easy. Then it was a 3k cool down, again back down to 4:50 5-minute pace, and then just had a call with one of my clients in the US. He's in LA. He signed up with me a couple of weeks ago, working with him one-to-one. Older guy, I think he's about 45, 47, 48. Body composition and performance improvements. So basically we've got him on a 3-day strength training program, and he's running twice a week. He's doing a 5k race next week, and then we're going to train him for a 10k. So absolutely love doing calls like that. He's really, really high up in a finance job, so I love coaching people like that. But I'm just going to sit here for the next hour, do a little bit of work, then head home. I've got some calls with the team, I've got a haircut, and I've actually got a therapy session which I'm looking forward to. I haven't done therapy in a few months, just going to get everything sorted there. And then I might go to the beach this afternoon and do some steps, get a little bit of sun. Wednesday afternoon is my kind of little bit of downtime before kicking off again tomorrow. So yeah, I'll check in later on and I'll show you what I'm eating as well.
Right.
How's it going?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Fine, mate. All good. Peter is here today.
Love it. Hey, Peter.
What's up, man?
Alright, all good.
How are you feeling for the weekend?
So we're going to run 6 weeks tidy up here, and then he's keen to transition into a gaming phase for the rest of this year until next summer, is what I pitched it to him as. He kind of just wanted to know what that would look like, so I just had the tracker sheet up and talking through it, so he's keen.
Yeah, I think that's so key, like having those sheets ready to go, like before a client comes on, like so you know where they're going. I've had like quite a few calls from my clients recently where they've actually asked me like, right, what's the plan, where are we going, and especially like coming in end of summer. So if you've got that mapped out for them, just show them. I showed someone like an example of other clients yesterday, just so they could like understand the reverse diet and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think he'll stay on.
Yeah.
He appreciates the support.
Yeah, he sent me a very nice message last time we renewed, saying like basically he absolutely loved it, which was cool. So
yeah, we're just running the maintenance phase with him now. Like based off the last call from his fat loss phase, like he's just very interested to continue to build his physique and focus on muscle growth. So he's very busy. So I think he's just now in that flow of just like he gets on with us and he sees results and he just likes having something there for it. So
yeah. Okay. So that is the team call wrapped up. Ended up taking a really long clip there. I'll obviously will have chopped it down, but basically every Wednesday we meet at 11 a.m. Dubai time. We run over any issues with clients. Touch wood, everything's going really, really well at the moment. We run over, I'd say, any issues, any people who are renewing over the next 4 weeks. I'll then reach out to them and basically try and renew them. But we've really noticed that obviously start of the year, I would say January to probably May, retention is amazing, and we only had a few people leave each month, whereas obviously through the summer months, I would say probably June to September, you do naturally have more people leave the program because they're on holiday and it's probably just not the main focus for some of the less focused clients. But going into September, I would say through to January is pretty busy time of the year for bringing people on, and also busy in the sense that people are staying on, which is great. So things are looking amazing for the back end of this year. I think we could grow significantly because I think a lot of coaching businesses, they only focus on the front end, bringing new clients in, and their coaching standards aren't good enough and the results aren't good enough, so they get loads of people coming out the back door. But if you don't have many people leave the back door and you have a lot of people or a good amount coming in, the business can grow really, really quickly. And that's why we've gone from, I think honestly, like just over 80 clients to almost 140 since I think November. And that is a fast rate of growth considering that I was doing it for 2.5 years before that. So yeah, things are looking good, but I'm gonna track my calories now because I've eaten a fair bit today. I would definitely recommend doing that if you're on the go and you don't like to track all your calories in the evening. Track as you go, as you eat every couple of hours. Then I have another team call, then I'm gonna go and get a haircut, and then I'm probably gonna go to the beach. So I'm just winding down for the evening. I secured the short back and Geordie. Went for a skin fade into a slightly higher fade than usual. I'm absolutely gutted. I'm leaving the barber that I usually go to because I'm going to be moving in a couple of weeks and it's literally the other end of Dubai. But I finally found a barber that I liked and I booked myself in every single Wednesday at 12. So I'm going to have to find myself a new barber, but it should be fine. I then went to the beach and did some steps for about 40 minutes. It was ridiculously humid, so I was sweating loads. It wasn't actually that hot because there was a good breeze. But yeah, a little bit of tanning, steps. I think I've hit around 18,500 steps today. And then as soon as I got back, I went to the gym and I did 50 pull-ups and 100 push-ups pretty much as quickly as I could. And I did it in 12 minutes and 50 seconds. I think if I was really, really trying, I was trying to film myself as well. If I wasn't filming, I probably could have done it in sub 12 minutes. So I'm going to do that once a week on a Wednesday just to get a bit of a pump on. It's really fun. It's all bodyweight stuff, so it's not going to affect my recovery from my running or the other strength work that I'm doing. And then I've just been replying to clients for like half an hour on the laptop because I do a big bunch of my check-ins on Monday and then Tuesday morning. So off the back of the check-ins, a lot of client messages come back in, so I have to sit and respond to them and get all that done before I wind down for the evening. And I'm just having my final, I guess it is a meal for the day. Basically having 3 large meals at the moment and then a snack like this at the end of the day if I need to increase my protein. So basically what we've got here is 250 grams of Greek yogurt, 0% fat, 25 grams of whey protein. I've been going for the Nitratech blend recently. I think it tastes way better than genuinely any other protein blend I've had. I don't really like to take protein powder. Like I hate drinking protein shakes. Like when you make them yourself, I don't mind buying like a protein milkshake from a shop. But I did buy some whey protein last week because it does help me bump up the protein and hit 200 grams a day, which is what I'm going for at the moment. There's also some honey and some blueberries in that as well, and it tastes really, really good. I used to put dark chocolate in as well, but to be honest, I just don't think I need it. It's sweet enough with the honey and the blueberries. And then what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to do 2 parts of this video. So I'm going to do a week 1 marathon prep, part 1, part 2, because we're only halfway through the week, halfway through the runs. And if I keep filming and provide more insight into it, it's going to end up being like a 45-minute video and no one's going to watch that. So I'm actually probably just going to edit this now and then get this part 1 done and probably upload it tomorrow. And then I'll probably upload the second part on Sunday or Monday. I'm not sure if I'll do that every single week, but there's a lot to talk about because obviously it's not just the marathon prep. I'm also giving insight into the business, the nutrition side of things too. But it means I'm going to be getting, at least 1 video a week up on YouTube. And I've been slacking a little bit recently, just been lacking kind of creative ideas, which I don't really struggle with on Instagram. But YouTube, I feel like there needs to be a topic that I'm filming. It needs to be about something. Otherwise, I just end up videoing my day, which is really, really boring for the viewer. So I am excited to get moved into the new place. It's unbelievable and the content's going to go up a level. And I'm also going to link back up with my videographer, Mark, and probably might even do a YouTube video with him every week. So we get in 2 out a week because that's really where, it's what a lot of kind of content creators and people say at the moment, the personal brand, the long form side of it is really where people are going to take off over the next few years. Everyone's doing short form content on Instagram. That's just something you absolutely have to do. But I think the people that invest the time and also the money into YouTube they're going to be the ones that really build the best brands and are going to be around for years and years and years. Because if your Instagram went down, if you stopped running ads on Instagram, what would happen? If you've got a YouTube, you've got a personal brand. But I just don't think I think people underestimate the time that it takes to put into creating long form and also the money as well. Like I obviously edit all these videos myself and there's basically no editing to it whatsoever. So it doesn't actually take too much time, but I think just mental energy of like being in the mood to film and to film stuff that's actually worth filming. But also money as well. Like if you work with a videographer and you're doing a YouTube video, that's going to cost you £200 every video, at least, to be honest. Like my videographer, I think if I meet him 3 times a month, it's about £800. And we obviously I definitely get my money's worth of that. I get, YouTube content, I get Instagram videos, I get photos. So it's a very, very good deal given the rates that a lot of people charge, but it's a significant investment into the business. Like if you were doing that consistently year round, you'd be spending at least 10 grand on YouTube and content, which is not that much in the grand scheme of things if you've got a business, but yeah, it's not easy. So kudos to all these creators that are putting out loads of long form content. But yeah, I'm gonna have this food, edit this video, and then go to bed. And I need to get up tomorrow at, I think, 5:30 for a 6:30 a.m. call with a client, then I have a consultation call, then I have a gap of about 4 hours where I'm going to do some work, and then I'm actually going to go to the gym, train myself, then have a call to do at the gym. It's like a mentorship call that I'm listening in on. Then I'm actually going to train one of my online clients for an hour, get some content with him. Then I have 2 calls after that, and then I think I have 2 calls later on in the day, so it's mental tomorrow. So I'm not sure how much of tomorrow I'll film, but I'm going to end it here, and I'll see you in part 2.